Welcome back. Today we are looking at the difference between these two verbs, connaître and savoir. They are both irregular verbs. You have seen their conjugation in the previous video. That is irregular verbs part 4. We have already looked at how they are conjugated. So I'm not going back to that. I am directly starting off with the difference between the two. Okay, so connaître and savoir, they mean the same thing in English. They both mean to know, but there is a fundamental difference between the two. They are not interchangeable. Okay, so let's see the features of both and you should get the difference between them. So let's start with connaître on this side, which is in green. Connaître, the typical feature is that it is followed by a noun. Okay, now if that noun happens to be a person or a place, then you are using connaître, or if you are using connaître, the connotation is, that means if you use connaître, what you are implying, the hidden meaning behind your use of that verb is that you have been to the place or you have met the person, that you have had an experience with the noun if you use connaître. So if it's a person, it means you've met the person perhaps before, you're familiar with them, you know them pretty well. Okay, or if you're talking about a place, that means you've been there, you've experienced the life of the people there, something like that. So connaître comes with that connotation of having experienced the noun that you're talking about, especially if it is persons or places, and it is usually followed by a noun to begin with. So look at how connaître has been used in these three sentences. Je connais trois langues: l'anglais, l'hindi et le konkani. I know three languages: English, Hindi, and Konkani. Now, can you see how connaître has been used and it has been followed up with a noun? Okay, you cannot use savoir here. When you're following the verb up with a noun, it has to be connaître because language is a noun here. Okay, now let's talk about connaître with a person. Je connais Brad Pitt bien. Now, who's Brad Pitt? Is a famous actor. Okay, so if you say je connais Brad Pitt bien, I know Brad Pitt well, it does not mean that you know Brad Pitt, that he is an actor or that he's acted in so and so films. Okay, it's nothing about factual knowledge about Brad Pitt when you use connaître. It is that you know him, that you have met him, perhaps you're his friend, something like that. That is what connaître implies. It does not imply that you know that he exists. It implies that you are his associate or his acquaintance. You know him pretty well. That is the implication, the connotation of connaître. Okay, let's look at the third sentence now, which talks about places with connaître. So, je connais des villes en France: Paris, Lyon, Marseille. I know some cities in France: Paris, Lyon, and Marseille. Now, when you say I know some cities in France with connaître, it does not mean that you know that they exist in France, or you know that these three are so and so, they are located in France. It is not that. It means that you have been to these places, or you are very familiar with how they function. You have lived there, perhaps visited there. Okay, so that is what connaître means when you are talking about a person or a place. You are familiar with it, you have experienced the place or the company of the person. Okay, that is the brief about connaître. Now, how do you use savoir? Savoir is usually followed by an action. Here it is usually followed by a noun. Here savoir in purple usually followed by an action that is denoted by the full verb. Or it is also used as a statement. Sorry, it is also followed by a statement of factual knowledge. That means when you want to state a fact, that you know so and so, that you know this particular fact, that you know so and so is true, or that so and so exists, then you can use savoir beginning with the word que. Okay, that does not imply that you are very familiar with the person or that you visited the place. Okay, it is nothing like that. That is, savoir is used for factual information. If you want to say I know so and so, or if you want to say I know where so and so happened, or I know why so and so took place. Okay, you can also follow up savoir with any of the question words où, pourquoi, quand, and so on. Okay, and you can use savoir in these two ways. Either it is followed by an action to show that you know how to do something, or to show that you know a fact. So, je sais parler en anglais et en hindi. Now, can you see how both the sentences mean the same thing, but can you see how the construction has changed? Here you're saying you know the languages. Here you're saying you know how to speak in the languages. Here you're talking about the noun that you know. Here you're talking about the verb that you know. Parler is the verb. Okay, I know to speak in English and Hindi, or I know how to speak in English and in Hindi. Now, je sais que Brad Pitt est acteur. I know that Brad Pitt is an actor. Whereas when you say connaître, je connais Brad Pitt, it means that you know him very well. You know him personally. When you say je sais que Brad Pitt est acteur, you're just stating a fact that you know that he is an actor. You have no relationship with him beyond that. Okay? Then, as I said, you can also use it before a question word, such as où, pourquoi, quand. Okay, so je sais où les villes de Paris, Lyon et Marseille se trouvent. I know where the cities of Paris, Lyon and Marseille are located. That means you don't know anything about it beyond that. You just know the fact that they are located in France, so you know where they are located. You have not been there, you have not seen the sights, you have not experienced city life, nothing like that. You're just stating the fact that you know. So this is the fundamental difference between these two verbs, connaître and savoir. Quick reminder, they are both irregular verbs, so you will need to learn their conjugations by heart, especially in the present tense. Till I meet you again with a new video, thank you and take care.